Welcome back to the Aubservation. We are live from our usual spot at the top of Pubkey. Pubkey is actually one of my favorite spots to hang in the city. The food is great. The vibes are high. Come check it out. It's in the West Village. Also, the Aubservation is so thrilled to have Ledger join us as a title sponsor. For those who are not familiar with Ledger, it is a security company that makes hardware wallets so that you can store your Bitcoin and crypto offline. It's more important than ever to get your crypto and your Bitcoin off of exchanges. So check out Ledger. If you haven't, this is their flagship wallet, is the Stacks, and it's super cool. Check this out. It says trust yourself on it.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that so cool?
That is so cool.
I'm really excited about it. Just so happy to have them. They're an amazing brand and they've been highly trusted in this space for a long time. So excited to have them on board, the title sponsor. Today, I am joined by Elizabeth Olson. She is the head of Bitcoin at Magic Eden. She previously was the head of growth at Xverse. Elizabeth also is a co-organizer of Ordinals Asia, an angel investor, and a taproot wizard. Welcome to the Aubservation, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Aubrey. So good to be here. After watching your podcast for like a year, 2 years now.
It was funny because I met you the first time I met you in Bitcoin Amsterdam. You were like, I love the Aubservation, and now you're on the Aubservation.
I was like, I'm one of the few girls that watch
I know.
Aubservation.
There was a time when it was heavily male. Hopefully
it's changed.
It's changed. Actually, on YouTube, it's changed quite a bit. I don't know what it is on X. But anyways, I'm so happy to have you here. Your journey in the Bitcoin space has been really remarkable to watch, obviously. You're becoming sort of a big leader and doing a lot of great stuff at Magic Eden. But I kind of want to take it back to your roots and your beginning of how you got into the space. I don't love that question as a first question, but I think your background's very unique. You're a pianist. Do you want to kind of talk about that journey? What's going on in the back over here?
Sure, no, I can jump into it. I think a lot of people ask me about my career, like, what happened? Did you like play telephone with your career or something? Because I started actually being a piano performance major, and then that kind of turned into like this luxury years, working at in the luxury industry, and now I'm in Bitcoin space. So,
that's the weirdest jump. That's a weird jump.
Very, very strange jump, but actually I feel like there are definitely some themes throughout that kind of tie it all together that make sense. So I was a piano performance major, and actually ended up working at Steinway and Sons for many years. Steinway's an old piano manufacturer.
In New York City?
Yeah, here in New York.
You worked at the Steinway in New York?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So there's the flagship store in Midtown Manhattan, but then there's the factory out in Queens.
Well, which one were you at?
I was at both. I would go back and forth between the two of them because the factory is where the headquarters are. So a lot of the marketing teams out there. But yeah, I would be giving like factory tours to the media and stuff. That was my world for many years. It was just super random, but also, yeah, it was really fun. And especially as like a pianist, like that was like such a heaven to be in. And it kind of helped bring that company into the digital age. And so it was really fun, to be part of that. But, yeah, I mean, it's funny because I kind of see like Bitcoin and music having a lot of similarities. Like Bitcoin is math, like music is math. And if you think about it, like music is made out of patterns and it's based off timings, and Bitcoin's also based off these like mathematical principles. So I feel like there's a lot of things that there's in common. Also, like Bitcoin is the luxury chain. And so I also see like me going from Steinway, where we sold these pianos, which were 6-figure assets, then going to Sotheby's auction house, where we also selling like the world's most prized human artifacts known to me, like everything from art, watches, handbags, jewels, even sneakers, and then NFTs. And that's how I got this exposure to the Web3 space. And it was during 2021, and like it was like 3 trillion market cap or something crazy like that. Everything was popping off. A lot of our auctions were tied to NFTs. A lot of the physical collectibles had NFT digital twins. And then of course there was like the Constitution DAO that came in and tried to like decentralize the Constitution. And so there was a lot of Web3 type of activations happening, and I was like, what is this? What is going on? And so that really sparked my interest, and I really wanted to be at the forefront of and dive in, kind of put on my detective cap and figure out, okay, like, what is this? I really want to know and get in there myself. And I just got in my MBA, so I was like, okay, this is the perfect time to take some sort of like pivot from like luxury music world into tech, and then just went full on heads down into Bitcoin.
It's kind of interesting because you did come in through the way of NFTs, which a lot of people did during the last cycle. So I think it lends itself to the fact that it was so exciting and hyped up, and there was something to sort of understand because there is an object now, not just some sort of token or, asset. People were really excited about digital collectibles, and ordinals weren't around then.
No.
So it's kind of interesting because now you're the head of Bitcoin. What
marketing,
was your
Bitcoin marketing?
Bitcoin marketing? But how does that sort of take place? Because you did come in through Web3,
totally,
and then ended up at Bitcoin.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at the time, so I started out at Xverse. I was the 4th team member at Xverse, this Bitcoin wallet, and I thought the wallet would be a really good place to start because you kind of get a seat at a center of all the action. As a wallet, you get to help onboard people to different protocols, to NFTs, different digital collectibles, how to transact, different projects. And it was really exciting, like DeFi, digital collectibles. And so I really got a great exposure to all of these different things. And, for me personally in my career, I thought that was a great, onboarding experience, and also great to be, in touch with the entire Bitcoin ecosystem. I will say definitely the first year, this was pre-ordinals, pre-runes, pre-BRC20, it was very quiet. There wasn't a lot happening on Bitcoin. It was, most people were like, we just treat this as digital gold. We hold it and that's it. There was a lot of really interesting technical developments happening in terms of like the layer 2 space with stacks. And so that's really where we were excelling, with like stacking and stacks NFTs. But beyond that, it was definitely quiet. But it was a startup, so I think that gave us the perfect time to really build out our foundation as a team and get the right talent in place.
The startups are so nice because you can just be really scrappy and get in there and do a lot and just try things. But speaking broadly about what's missing in the Bitcoin ecosystem, a non-custodial Bitcoin wallet that can sort of play and interact with, similar to a MetaMask, it has been missing for so long, but mostly because Bitcoiners don't like to use their money as much, and it's fine because it can be a digital gold, but most people don't transact as often as people are doing on other chains. It is an interesting problem to solve, but then it's like, are there the users to come in and do that and use it more regularly? So I think that obviously a lot of that has changed within the past year, right? Like we've seen so much volume.
Bitcoin season 2.
So is Bitcoin season 2 real?
It's real. Yeah. I mean, we onboarded over 1 million users to Bitcoin the past year. So I would say it's definitely real. And it's been incredible to see, all the different projects take off, all the transactions and fees paid to the miners. I actually just looked it up before coming here. To date, we have over $460 million paid to miners through the ordinals protocol, for example. And it's also been incredible just to see the venture funding coming through to the space, people investing in projects, people building on Bitcoin, and it's really turned into this like flywheel effect. You have projects and builders, you have more creatives, you have more, even Web 2 companies getting interested, like Asprey, Bugatti launched a collection. So it's really cool to see this ecosystem really thrive thanks to these developments. And as a result, I do think, people, whether they come through ordinals and then become, Bitcoin hodlers and then go off to meme coins elsewhere, however they get into Web3, it's an open space, and I think that's what's so exciting about it. We're making Bitcoin fun again.
Back to, Asprey and Bugatti and all these big luxury brands that are coming in and wanting to go to Bitcoin when they have
Sotheby's too.
And Sotheby's too. Yeah. Well, it's interesting. I mean, going back to what you were talking about earlier on the luxury side, it is interesting that these brands did have the opportunity to come in on a different chain, and they've decided they kind of sat out during the last cycle, and then now they want to come in through the way of Bitcoin. Why do you think that's so compelling for these large brands with so much reputation at stake there to choose Bitcoin?
Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin is the luxury chain. It is the strongest settlement layer. I think this is.
Should we just pause a bit so that I don't want it to have the alarm in the background. Sorry.
Oh no. Totally.
Okay, there we go. As we were saying earlier before. Okay, keep going. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, Bitcoin is the luxury chain. It is the strongest settlement layer, and I think we're here because we have the conviction to build on what is the most strong and secure settlement layer, something that where the most prized human artifacts can live. And that was something that was so beautiful when ordinals came out. People were inscribing things on Bitcoin. They were inscribing all kinds of things.
There was some bad things that were being inscribed.
Definitely some interesting things.
But there was also some very sentimental things. Like I had a friend put a loved ones who had passed on their, some memories that they had on as an ordinal, and I think that that's really beautiful. If you do want something to last, forever, and anyway, that there's just all kinds of stuff that was happening.
Even the Bible is inscribed on Bitcoin now. I mean, it's so cool. Like people are putting music on there, people are putting poems and like wedding photos, and of course, it's getting too expensive to do these kinds of things now. But it is amazing, and it's great that I think people who were early and there's still a lot of smart people in crypto who were putting some like the best stuff on there, and I'm just really grateful for that. And of course, then we also have I almost see it like a guerrilla marketing campaign too, in the mem pool. Yeah, you're seeing like these taproot wizards going through the mem pool. We're seeing the OMB. We're seeing node monks and all these different collections, and I think people were really rallying around this, and I think so. I think that was actually great to get communities involved too. People who are OG holders starting to rotate some of that idle wealth into ordinals and now meme coins on Bitcoin.
So for some of the more OG Bitcoiners, do you actually see people who are really early on Bitcoiners coming into ordinals? Do you find that there are people coming in, or do you feel like there's a lot of resistance? Because there was a lot of resistance, in the beginning, but has that softened? Did you see interest come in that way, or was it, is it hard? I know because you do marketing, so it is very, very difficult.
I would actually argue to say like it's thanks to the resistance. It's thanks to that conflict and the drama that actually drove ordinals to be a success. Like I would credit like a solid 40-50%, like thanks to the drama that people were like, wait, what's pissing off the maxis? What should we get in on?
Yeah.
So I think it's funny that, of course, there's like, I think a lot of people in ordinals do consider themselves laser-eyed in a way. Like this ordinals is Bitcoin. Runes, it's Bitcoin. It's all on Satoshis. This is Bitcoin. So it's still laser-eyed, and still like we're focused on building on Bitcoin. We're focusing on making Bitcoin thrive. We're focused on building the miners, which ultimately leads to making Bitcoin more secure. And if we want Bitcoin to survive, we need to make it usable and programmable to a degree. And the way Bitcoin is designed, it is free to be able to do that kind of stuff. So I think it is really exciting and to see that come to fruition and to see people rally around that. And I would argue to say that, most people that are here today, a lot of them are OGs. A lot of the builders, like a lot of people came from Stacks, these different, I guess like kind of open-minded spaces where we were building, and then they were the ones who were early to ordinals.
Magic Eden kind of took a stance early on as well, and was one of the first. I felt like that was, marketplaces that were super bullish ordinals, obviously advantageous to them, but, some people were like resistant for a while on a business side to sort of embrace ordinals and really anything like L2 on Bitcoin. Why do you think that was just like a no-brainer for Magic Eden?
Yeah, I mean, Magic Eden is already a top NFT marketplace at the time, and then it was thanks to ordinals that really we became the number one marketplace across all chains. We're number one, and that's so exciting to see. And I think it was our leaders' firm conviction already in Bitcoin that led us to support ordinals. And then that's really just shifting this narrative away from this maximalist ideology into like, okay, what can we do to expand the pie on Bitcoin? What can we do to attract new users and onboard people? And I think that's something that they saw that opportunity. They saw ways that they could improve innovation and the infrastructure. And I would say, like, as soon as we're able to make these improvements, that's when we're going to start to see more people come in. Mm-hmm. Whether there are people coming in from, just holding their Bitcoin, or whether there are people who are coming in from other chains. We've definitely seen a lot of people from the Sol ecosystem come in, seeing like, oh, wait, you can do like meme coins on Bitcoin and NFTs on Bitcoin. That's cool. Like, let's like give it a try. And now that we have wallets, we have marketplaces, we have ways to do DeFi and swaps and different things like this. Now that that's there, I think we're going to see more and more people come to Bitcoin.
you've done marketing, technically marketing at the luxury brands. Like that's like the more Web 2, I guess, like real world marketing. It is very difficult for obvious reasons why you can't market the way you do in a Web 2 environment, in a Web 3 environment. What has been like the hardest struggle for you in marketing for Web 3?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think immediately one of the big blocks for me was, where can you do paid ads? And I know that's such a cringe word for so many people.
No, but people want to know, because there's so many startups that are like, how do I start? What do I do? Like, they're not marketers.
Yeah. I mean, and let's just be clear, like, what are ads? It's how do you get messaging to reach the right people? There are sometimes there's ads that you want to be served. Like, you want to learn about things that are relevant to you. Yeah. And so I think even though, for people who are listening out there who are like, think ads and, oh, that's cringe, but like, this is like a reality, is that sometimes you want to be served things that are relevant to you. And that's really hard to do when it's tough to track this data on chain. And with all the privacy policies, everybody, there's a lot of privacy maximus, and there's a lot of regulations out there that we want to respect, and that's something that's always been a value and at the forefront of the places I've been working at in the Web3 space. So I think that's a lot of sirens.
I know. I don't know why. I'm so sorry. We'll just let it pass. This is filmed in New York, specifically by Washington Square Park, where things are just popping off all the time. What is someone getting shot?
I don't know how people film so many things in New York. It's like, how do they do it? 10 seconds.
Okay. I can hear it in here, so that's how I can tell it's getting picked up here.
Yeah, we're talking about ads. So I think that was always like something that was definitely a bit of a challenge, and also of course regulations. Like currently we're adopting token. There's only like certain places, like in the US, you have to have disclaimers. In the UK, different markets, like in the UK, you can't talk about swaps. Like there's like a lot of different regulations that you'd be quite surprised how stringent these things are. And I would just say those are probably like the biggest hurdles in terms of like a marketing person, like where and how and what kinds of messages you can use in these different markets and in these different placements and these different like advertising tools like Google and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. All of these, they have all their different regulations and ways that you can utilize these tools, and a lot of them are blocked to Web3 companies.
Sorry.
Wah.
This makes my train of thought, my flow, get off. Oh well. You called them. You're on the phone with them. For some reason, the universe is giving us the hardest time, Elizabeth, today trying to film. I know, we were like this just to get this done. Get there. You see a lot of companies doing in the KOL strategy, trying to move into more grassroots, mobilized, Twitter, I guess X. Do you find that is a new sort of strategy that is working for companies?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think working with KOLs is a great way to reach people in a grassroots way. I think the only thing
are you doing that personally? I feel like you guys are at Magic Eden. I feel like I've seen that quite a bit.
Yeah, no, definitely. We have a really strong KOL family, I would say. People that we love to collaborate with. KOL Cabal, our cult. And also, I mean, we just love to chat with like the kingmakers in the space too. We just actually, I conducted an AMA with Bonk Guy, really big in the Sol ecosystem. Bonk Guy, yeah. Amazing. Yeah, he made some trades in Bonk. It went long, and he's a legend. And
like we just have people named Bonk Guy in this space.
Yeah, but no, it took me a while to get used to these Web3 names.
This should be the whole podcast. It's just like sirens. I'm gonna lose my mind. Did someone should look up what's happening in New York?
The park was quiet. Thomas and I walked through it.
Like this has been a lot of trucks.
This is aggressive.
This is crazy.
We are at a bar. We could have had do a shot every time.
I know. If we were drinking during this, one martini per every siren. Oh my god, we would have been done.
Shoot.
Gosh, no. Welcome back, ASMR.
Here we are. Talking about KOLs and cults.
Speaking of cults. How do I get a taproot wizard? Damn it! I've been trying to get a taproot wizard.
Dude, I mean, I honestly, I don't even have mine yet. That's the crazy thing.
Udi has not given you your taproot wizard.
Send me my taproot wizard. I think like.
So is this all?
Yeah, I know one got sold. I think somebody like paper handed theirs. He was like some Bitcoin OG.
Way.
Yeah. So there has been a taproot wizard that sold. There's one out there.
How much did it sell for?
It's under, I don't remember.
Was it like a secret little OTC trade?
No. I think they just like, dropped it on some marketplace or something.
No way.
Yeah. It got paper handed, and of course, like I think they sold it like. I don't even want to say number because I don't mean to be quoted on this, but they.
No, but you got your taproot wizard for dressing up in the best costume.
I did. I went all out. I went to this. I think it was the first Taproot Wizards party, at least the first one during NFT NYC.
Yeah.
And they said, dress up like a wizard. And I wasn't sure if I could be a witch or a wizard. So I went and bought a beard, and the only beard left was like this giant Santa Claus beard. And it was like literally so heavy. I had to like hold it onto my face. But yeah,
You're so cool for that too. Because so many people would not dress up, and they're like, I'm too cool for this. But no, Elizabeth's like, I will come. And then look at you. Now you have a taproot wizard. And I haven't gotten one yet. Okay. We have like maybe 7 minutes left. So I do want to get to runes and the memecoin supercycle. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think this is actually like viable and here to stay?
Yeah, I mean, so memecoin supercycle, I think this is like right now it's all about mind share, and relevancy on the timeline. It's something, and of course, price action. We're seeing this, this continued growth for meme coins. We've even seen like AI meme coins come out now.
It's so ridiculous.
Wild. And I do feel like Bitcoin's kind of this sleeping giant because a lot of people don't realize there are meme coins on Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that's because of the infrastructure friction that's there. For example, we're about to ship swaps with Magic Eden, so I think that's going to be a major unlock for the ecosystem. OpCat and these different L2s are going to come out, so that you're going to see speed there. And so once we see this kind of like technological parity with other chains like Sol, then I think we're going to see a crazy super cycle potentially on Bitcoin. Not financial advice, but potentially it's there.
NFA.
Yeah, and we have a lot of like idle wealth that could be rotated into Bitcoin from the OGs. It is still the largest market cap, and if you even see like a fraction of that wealth go into meme coins, that's such a nascent space on Bitcoin. We're still super early, and if you compare like the cat meme coins, the dog meme coins, if you compare those and the market caps on other chains, and it also compare like the market cap in general for the entire like ecosystem on those chains, like it's pretty crazy what the potential could be.
I mean, I'm excited for it. I want to see. It's like down the street.
Yeah. And I think that's something that's really exciting that Magic Eden is building too, because we are looking to support all chains, all assets, in a decentralized way. And I think that's something that's been so fantastic. That's, Sexes have already onboarded people like Binance and Coinbase in these ways. They have these touch points. They are like the trusted hub. And that's what we want to be for users on chain. And we do see that's where the trend of people are going on chain. We've broken down these barriers so that people can onboard on chain way more easily than they did in this initial bull run super cycle. Yeah. So I think that's what's so exciting with Magic Eden and where we're headed to become this super DApp. Yeah.
So what's sort of next for you guys?
As well, we are adopting Magic Eden token. It's ME. And this is going to be supercharging our mission in terms of becoming a super DApp and onboarding the world to the decentralized ecosystem. And I think Magic Eden is uniquely positioned in this way because we are one of the few dApps that actually have ecosystems on Sol, on Bitcoin, on ETH, and by the end of the year, we're expanding to something like 15 other chains.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but of course, like Bitcoin is a top priority. I think that's why I'm so excited to now be head of marketing for Bitcoin, and a huge priority for us. And Bitcoin is always going to be be where we're
You're like, number one? Were you going to say number one? I don't know.
I mean, one thing I'm really excited about is personally, the way I see my role is not just being an ambassador for Magic Eden, but being an ambassador for Bitcoin in general. And I think we are going to seek to be talking with and doing activations for people across all different chains. And that's one thing I love about Magic Eden is that it does have the reach to other chains. So as a Bitcoiner, I love being able to work across chain and educate people about runes and ordinals and self-custody and Bitcoin. And actually another thing I'm really looking forward to is Art Basel. I think I texted you before.
You did.
Are you going to Art Basel?
What's the plan?
So the alpha is we have a villa, most gorgeous villa on a private island. We're going to have it for 4 days, and we're going to have activations across those 4 days with like food and beverage. Like,
how do you get to the island?
12 hours. We're probably going to have some sprinters. We're even talking about getting some like water taxis. I mean, just whatever makes it easiest for people to get there. I was like planning it out, and I think even during Art Basel, it should be like max 30 minutes to get there. It's right next to Miami Beach, so it should be easy to navigate. I'm super excited. Yeah, we're gonna have like dinners and like cocktails and poker night. I was even thinking of doing like a James Bond themed like poker night.
I love James Bond.
Whatever attracts those like meme coin gambling type people. I feel like a lot of them are like liking like
Miami
whiskey.
Vice. I feel like Miami Vice is like
I'm
the
gonna
vibe.
do like whiskey tasting.
Yeah,
Exactly. So I'm like thinking my mood board, but so I'm excited because I really want to find a space and create an environment where we can just invite the entire community and get people to intermingle and chat about meme coins on Bitcoin too. So Bitcoin inclusive. I think people, when they think meme coins, they just think Sol and these other chains, but I want them to start thinking meme coins on Bitcoin.
Nice. I love that. I just am really in awe of all you've done since you've gotten into this space because, you're relatively a newer person, newer character that's come in. But I just love the amount of education that you've put out there. And so it's such an honor to have you on the show. Where can people find you? Where can they follow you? And just see all the great things that you're up to.
Yeah, sure. I am on Twitter, Elizabeth Olson.
Follow her.
And obviously follow Magic Eden. Magic Eden's also on Twitter. Can get Magic Eden wallet. It's the best place to get started with Magic Eden and start degenning on the marketplace. If you're in Art Basel, come through, pull up.
There's an island.
Yes.
All right. Pubkey, thank you so much for having us. Ledger, thank you so much for sponsoring, and we'll be back next time. I apologize to everyone who watched this and heard sirens. I'm so sorry. I don't know if we're going to clip that in there as well, but I'm so sorry. This is going to be really interesting to be clipped up. But you're going to be back on, so that'll be great.